things just went sideways in a way Washington did not expect. United States banks have quietly backed out of this huge $20 billion bailout plan for Argentina, a plan cooked up by Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent and pushed hard by President Trump. What was supposed to be a massive long-term rescue has basically shrunk into a tiny emergency loan that barely covers one debt payment in January. And while that's blowing up, Nvidia, yeah, America's most valuable chip giant, is freaking out. Jensen Huang straight up admitted that losing China could slice tens of billions off their future revenue. He even said China's going to be a monster $150–200 billion AI chip market by the end of the decade, and that it sucks, American companies can't play in it. But here's the real shocker. Huang is now forecasting zero China sales. Zero next quarter, zero after that. Just zero. And right when Nvidia's choking on export bans, China pops up claiming it built a chip more powerful than anything Nvidia's ever made, using this wild compute-in-memory design that dodges the GPU bottleneck and, according to Chinese researchers, can hit up to 1000x the throughput of Nvidia's H100 with 100x better energy efficiency. If they scale that thing, it doesn't just cut Nvidia out, it nukes their entire lead. But back to Argentina, because that mess ties directly into the bigger geopolitical game. At first, big United States banks like JPMorgan, Bank of America, and Citigroup looked ready to pump in $20 billion paired with another $20 billion swap line from the Treasury to make a monster $40 billion rescue. Now, they've all bailed, and the only thing on the table is a tiny $5 billion repo loan, basically a band-aid on a bullet wound. The whole plan depended on private banks plus United States government backing, and without the banks, the whole thing looks like a political bailout instead of a financial one. Farmers in the United States are furious because last time Trump fought with China, Beijing stopped buying American soybeans and bought Argentina's instead. Now they're like, why are we helping the country that took our market? And the timing doesn't help. This bailout landed right before Argentina's midterms, so critics are yelling that the United States is just boosting Javier Milei, Trump's guy down there. Meanwhile, China's playing long game chess while the United States is putting out fires. Beijing renewed a massive yuan swap line with Argentina and rolled out almost $10 billion in new credit across Latin America. They're building payment systems, banking rails, and trade networks that make using the yuan stupid easy, and every time a country starts using yuan for trade or reserves, the dollar loses a little more gravity. This is exactly why Washington is desperate to keep Argentina in the dollar zone. If China steps in, dollar dominance takes another hit, and all this is happening while global markets are flashing red. The S&P 500's PE ratio is way above normal. 91% of fund managers say United States stocks, especially AI, are overvalued, and even Goldman Sachs says this feels like the dot-com bubble too. Nvidia hitting a $5 trillion valuation might have been the peak of the hype, but now the company itself is admitting China is gone from future forecasts. So here we are. United States banks walking away from Argentina. China building next-gen chips. Nvidia staring at zero China revenue. And the whole AI market sitting on what looks like a bubble. The real question is, what pops first, the United States' financial influence, Nvidia's insane valuation, or the dollar's global grip? Let me know what you think in the comments and hit that subscribe button. I'll see you in the next one.